What's the first car you ever owned?
I remember this with real affection. The first car I ever owned was in America. It was a Delta, an Oldsmobile Delta 88, 1972. It was brown in color, and this thing was a rocket. I love this thing. It must have weighed 2 tons. And when you were in it, you couldn't hear a thing. The glass, and this is way back in the 1970s, the glass was about a quarter, 3/8 of an inch thick. So no sound came in from the outside. And it was power everything. Power steering, power brakes, you name it, power. And it had a heater that could heat a train, this thing. I loved it. That was my first car. Giant, a huge machine. 2 tons. It got, I think, 10 miles to the gallon. But then gas in those days was about, what, 25, 26 cents a gallon? So that didn't matter. No, this was my, believe me, we called it this. It was my Yank tank, okay? A huge, great behemoth of a machine. And I gotta tell you, I absolutely loved it. It was the first car that I'd ever owned. I was about 27 at the time, and previously I'd always lived in countries where you couldn't get a car, you didn't need a car. I'd lived in London, I'd lived in Hong Kong, I'd been traveling in India, I'd lived in East Africa, didn't have a vehicle. You come to America, you gotta have a vehicle, and that's the one that I bought. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that 1972 Oldsmobile Delta 88 was a rocket. Loved it.